Hello everyone, I'm your host Kirby1 and I'll be waking out of my deep slumber in order to show you my version of events of a game called Accidental Ascension 3, in which everyone rolls a random pretender and we see where we go from there. What wound up happening in this particular game is that we started with a lot of players, but we still actually wound up forgetting one of them who hadn't submitted a pretender in time. So we restarted. A lot of other people wound up getting a different starting location, but I did not, because as the only nation that is actually starting underwater and having to start in a deep sea province, I wound up just getting the same province twice. But I figured I'd show you the before and after version of events. So here we see my starting location. I've actually got a large number of provinces, 3 of them on land. And then let's see, for neighbors, I actually, what I do typically in my games, especially late age, this is late age by the way, Ryla, relay, I'm going to be poorly pronouncing the unpronounceable name repeatedly over the course of this series, so just bear with me with that one. So what I usually wind up doing is going to map filters. For me, I like to have Dominion candles on just to see the strength of each Dominion, and also you can see neighboring candles then as well. And then I'll put on names, because that way you'll be able to see where all of the provinces are without having to click around. So there's Man, where Man originally started the first time, in a wasteland of all things. Abyssia also started in a wasteland. Let's see, nobody over here. Abyssia, by the way, is played by Prey, the host of the game. Man, played by Stone Troll. Who else have we got? Nobody up there. And Ulm, played by our favorite friend and companion through all the series, Brutal, who has also returned. And yeah, because Abyssia and I were sharing a cap circle, we already saw each other's candles. So that was great. And there was a throne here as well that I might have been able to take. So this would have been an interesting start. I don't think Abyssia would have been able to challenge me for these underwater provinces. No, just the quick spears for mercs. So yeah, that would have been, well, like I say, interesting. Anyways, let's move on to the actual game. So what I'm going to show you also is that I'm actually not recording it in real time as I'm doing my turn. I'm going to be going back and showing you the past events as I save them over the course of the game. This is just easier for me. It's been my go-to standard. When it's a Sneck Earth game, it's actually a little bit harder, and there have been games where I've not been able to record all of the turns for them. But what I've wound up doing is just getting into a routine where after I do my turn, I save the turn file. You'll see this is the base version of the game, and it's actually on turn about 20, 22, something like that, 23 maybe, I don't know, I don't remember what we're at right now. But then you just copy from this version of the save and then make another folder of it. So I've saved version turn 1, turn 2, all the way to the current turn that we're on, except for one turn where I staled and really everybody staled, but we'll get to that in a second. So this is the actual version of the game. This is the old version, so we'll get into turn 1 of the actual version that we wound up playing in. And so here we are. Let's see our new neighbors. We have Satis up here, which is played by Nurgle, which I have also played in one game a long time ago. Who else have we got? No one up here again. We're missing the throne. It decided to move up on land. Marignon is over here, and they're played by Slimarbo AAA, who I have also played with before. And And down here we have Erythia, and Erythia is played by Flash of Sloth, Friendship Half Sloth, Hat Sloth, as you will, depending on what hat he wears today. Alright, so that's going to be a problem because Erythia is the New Age crossbreed version of Pelagia and Arco, so they can go underwater, and they have underwater shooting crossbows, and I have the only really other underwater ranged unit, which are these guys, Mind Blasters. So this is my recruitment that I'm going to do. I wound up going with nets. Everyone seems to think gladiators are great, so I was like, well, they're underwater gladiators, so how bad can it be? And I'm going to just spam the crap out of them. I decided not to make a profit because my Dominion is utter garbage. I wound up having Death 3 on an already pop kill nation with late age Ryla, and so all my people are going to die really, really quickly unless I play it sort of like Mictlan Light, where I just don't push my Dominion as much as possible. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to not make a profit until it's too late, and then one of my random mad cultists decides to profit himself, and then I'll hold off until then, or maybe I'll get a vastness and profitize them if I can. And in the meantime, I'll just scout around and have him just be a normal person. No underwater mercs again. My research, I started out with these 3 in level 1, and I didn't queue up any because I'm not going to be researching yet. But I'm also getting a star spawn so I can do summoning right out the gate. And then, yeah, so we'll scout in this direction, see where Erythia winds up expanding, which direction they're going, and then make adjusting calculations from there. And that's pretty much that. The thrones, by the way, I forgot to mention, they're all the level 3 thrones, so that's going to make a interesting game. And here's all the pretenders. We got a crap ton of them. So there you go. I won't get into all of them and what their pretenders are. We'll just go into it as soon as we run into one of them. Anyways, moving right along. Into turn 2. Most everyone prophetized, and we have a little RP message which you can pause for effect if you like, from Patala. Erythia, yep, deja vu, we've seen this before. And then me saying I'm not making a profit. So there you go. Everyone else prophetized, I'm pretty sure, or most everyone else. So let's see who we got for our indies. This is going to be pretty easy, just a couple of shamblers, but still, shamblers have 2 attacks, and none of my guys have armor, at least none of the ones that I start with, and I decided not to go with the ones who do have armor. So there you go. And so they'll do a lot of damage to me, but I can kill them pretty easily. These guys will probably be even easier, and so I'm going to sort of swing around in a circle this way and see maybe if I can cut off some of Erythia's movement. At some point we started talking, and I think we delineated borders, so he was going to get this province and then everything in this little pocket here and go that way and south, and then I was going to get literally everything else. Now there is also Atlantis, and Mictlan I think can go underwater. Maybe Xibalba too. I don't really know them that well. But yeah, anyways, on land, I'm going to stay off the land for a while so I don't make even more enemies, especially Satis, who's going to be right there. Do I see anyone else here? No, not yet. Caves of Madness, that seems appropriate. And then, yeah, heavy infantry militias, some archers there, and then heavy cavalry and knights. That'll be a pain in the butt to take. But yeah, over here, some Tritons with shields, slightly more shamblers than over here, and a couple of Atlanteans with Shamblers. I haven't seen any other people there. And then for recruitment, I'm going to get a second star spawn right away, just in case the first one gets offed by some people when he's summoning them, which happens, and then more netted slave troopers, and immediately enter a site. I actually, got a random water astral, which is good. I do want to start switching to slave mages and spamming them so that I can be protected by having as many water elementals as possible, and I think my research reflects that. Yep, I'm going straight for level 3 for water elementals, and then from there we'll sort of see. I think that probably eventually we'll want to get to level 5, but I don't expect my research to be really good. It's going to be pretty hard getting forts up with my crap income, so that might take a while. Alright, moving on. This is turn 2. Let's go and see what happens in turn 3, and then I think we'll probably call it there. Turn 3, and do some more later. Oh, Xibalba got somebody else for his profit instead. Alright, let's see how this battle goes. Oh yeah, and you can see my star spawn already immediately got killed, which is great. Okay, they're going to try and pull a attack rear, but not quite get that far. I had my guys on hold and attack so they can come to me. I get as much mind blasting as I can off of them. And I did take quite a few casualties. Some of them were also poisoned, but I don't think they died from it. Yeah, so quite a few people getting killed, and then this is not going to be particularly sustainable over long term. His mind was permanently damaged. Alright. So yeah, unfortunately I ran into a angry elder thing. This fight is not particularly fun to watch because they just wind up mind blasting each other versus their high magic resistance until I get hit first and then I die. And that's all for that turn, so I'm going to continue into the easy Shamblers. There's Erythria's Citadel. There's some long dead horsemen in a swamp for him, so that's awesome. And he hasn't gone into the water from what I can see yet. I actually say Calum over here too. So that will be another person I'll have to deal with eventually, probably. And let's see, that's about it. That's all I see here. What about up here? Nope. Nobody. Okay. And I haven't seen anyone else expanding yet, so that's just about it. So my Earth guy is going to enter the site now instead. I'm going to get another one just so I don't have to wait for a turn to be summoning elder things, even though I would have rather had a mage this turn instead. And I'm going to dump all my gold into more mermen. In my Dominion, another thing that you'll see is that occasionally I actually get free spawn chaff. They're all pretty much garbage except for occasionally you get free spawn sacred void beings. So that can be pretty handy as the need arises. Alright, we're going to call it here for this turn, and we'll come back to it in a couple of days, and have a happy new year. See you all later.